After waiting for what seemed like forever, Invincible fans are finally getting a second season of Invincible. And looking at the new names that they've casted for characters in the new season, oh my god, is it stacked! They've got Optimus Prime in Invincible.
Viltrumite against Viltrumite. That has not happened since the Great Purge.
So far, the second season of Invincible is looking really good. Hold on, can we zoom in on that name real quick? Can we? No! Now, Invincible has a very special place in my heart. After watching the first season of it, it made me want to go read the comics that it was based off of. And so far, I've read a good chunk of the comics, though I have seen the endings, all thanks to social media. Thanks a lot. But that didn't stop me from going back and reading the comic books myself. There's just something about a young Mark Grayson following in his father's footsteps as his universe is Superman. A young, naive hero wanting to save the world with near godlike powers, only to find out that being a hero is harder than he thought. And it ain't always sunshine and rainbows in Brooklyn. Throughout Season 1, we see firsthand how Mark lived out his life as the standard high school superhero we're all used to seeing. But as the season goes on, we get to witness Mark start to develop the mindset of, hey, maybe being a superhero isn't what I thought it would be.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
In Season 2, we're going to see how much his character will develop even more, as it teased that not only will we see Angstrom Levi as the main big bad, but possibly the Viltrumite War with Thrag and the Viltrumite Empire. But Freddie Mercury and the Goon Squad can wait for another video. For now, we're here to talk about the possible main big bad of Season 2 of Invincible, and how he could lead to what could possibly be the most awesome crossover in comic book history. I'm talking about most rewatched episode on streaming history. What crossover am I talking about? If you read the cast list near the end of the teaser of Invincible Season 2, besides Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime, being in the show, Josh fucking Keaton, the voice of Spectacular Spider-Man, was casted too. Now, he could be voicing a different character besides the web-slinger, but readers of the comics will know that Spider-Man and Invincible have crossed paths before. Which issue am I talking about? There are two comic books that come to mind when it comes to the Invincible and Spider-Man crossover. Invincible number 33 and Marvel's Team Up number 14. Here's a quick summary of both comics. Angstrom uses Debbie to get Invincible's attention. He sends Mark to different universes to try and weaken him. He ends up in the Marvel universe at one point, catches Spidey fighting Doc Ock and helps him out a little bit. They talk on a rooftop. Mark meets Aunt May, MJ, and the Avengers. Pete and Mark stop Doc Ock. Invincible leaves the Marvel universe and Spidey tries to go with him, but his weapon gets cut off. Mark and Angstrom fight across the universe. Fight across the universe. And Mark beats Angstrom nearly to death, thinking he was stronger. Dude, Mark looks so disappointed in this panel. Now, if you're wondering why I didn't go into too much detail on the summary, that's because I recommend everyone go and pick up the comic themselves and give it a good read, or read them online if you don't have access to a comic book store. Though I will be using some of the pages as I discuss how Amazon will pull this crossover off. Now, this will definitely be a special episode for the Invincible series, either as a filler episode or a straight-up special episode after Angstrom sends Mark to different universes. Because Amazon would be dumb enough not to dedicate a whole episode to everyone's favorite wall crawler on one of their only shows most people subscribe to their streaming service for. Yes, I know they have the Spider Noir and Madame Web shows cooking up, but considering the writers and actors strike, I got a strong feeling that those are being pushed back for a good year or two. All power to the writers and the actors. Go team! Alright, anyways, it's obvious that the show is finished, and they're just either going through the finishing touches on the animation or getting the distribution rights to each country, because As you know, not every country has access to the same catalog of series and movies on streaming services. That's why this video is sponsored by NordVPN. No, I'm kidding. I only have 375 subscribers at the time of recording. But anyways, having Spectacular Spider-Man have his own dedicated episode on the second season of Invincible will be one of the smartest decisions the streaming service will ever make. Because mind you, it's been 14 years since the Spectacular Spider-Man show was cancelled and replaced by this abomination. Fans have been clamoring for more Spectacular Spider-Man content ever since the release of Beyond the Spider-Verse, which I think Spectacular Spider-Man actually might have a major role in the next movie, but that's a topic for another video. I'd also imagine they'll draw Spectacular Spidey in the Invincible animation style, but still have the original design from the show. A lot like what they did with the Generator Rex and Ben 10 crossover way back when, I can't remember, but it was an awesome contrast to see Ben blend in to Rex's universe. It was such a trip. It was so awesome watching that as a kid. But moving on, back to Spider-Man. Maybe they'll even throw us a curveball and animate Invincible in the Spectacular Spider-Man universe. The possibilities, man! Dear Lord! God, and if he's as small as he was in Across the Spider-Verse compared to Mark, that would be hilarious. Anyways, back to Invincible. Amazon would be hard-pressed not to cash in on the hype behind the Spider-Verse. Having one of the most beloved adaptations of Spider-Man in a flagship series would be near impossible, may I say, dumb to pass up. Casting Josh Keaton was already a massive sign that they're going to have him in the show. If they don't have them as Spectacular Spider-Man, then at least have him voice Ultimate Spider-Man. As not a lot of people know this, but on a TikTok live, Josh explained that Disney had him come in and voice Ultimate and had it dubbed over by Drake fucking Bell.
And this was after Spectacular Spider-Man I had already finished recording for, and I knew it wasn't going to get picked up because, you know, Disney... we didn't know that Ultimate Spider-Man was even going to happen yet. We just knew that when I recorded it. We just knew that we were kind of aware that the show was not going to get picked up because they were really taking a long time to tell us. And they never told us it was going to be canceled. They just didn't tell us it was going to be picked up. They wanted to have us on their network, on Disney XD, because it was a new network and they wanted it to headline the network or whatever. But Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes was going to be the kind of like my send-off. So I was like, all right, sweet. Well, at least I get to play Spider-Man in this last thing. That's cool. That's cool. Awesome. And then the night that it aired and I was going to watch it, I watched it and I was like, wow, that is not my voice. That is not my voice. He's hitting all the same beats I'm hitting because, you know, the animation was probably already done. So they had to just have him kind of listen and repeat to what I did and say, okay, now you do it. And I was like, that's not my voice. And then when I looked at the credits, it said Drake Bell. I was like, wow, okay. And then that's right around then is when they announced we're coming out with Ultimate Spider-Man and Drake Bell's going to play Ultimate Spider-Man. And I was like, that sucks. That sucks that they did that to me. Like, they could have at least called me so I wouldn't have gotten so excited.
Having him voice Ultimate Spider-Man will not only give him some much-needed closure to the character, and some justice if you ask me, but it will also give the fans something they have been asking for years now. Have Josh Keaton voice Spider-Man. Or maybe it's just me, you know? Not a lot of people have asked the same thing I've asked. But hey, you know, a man can wish. Invincible is one of my favorite superhero shows and comics of all time. And Spectacular Spider-Man was basically my entire childhood, as I think a lot of you grew up with Spectacular Spider-Man. Having those two worlds of ours come together, collide, past and present merging, would make superhero crossover history. And seeing Spectacular Spider-Man on any kind of show or on an episode of his own would be like catching up with an old friend that you haven't seen for 15 years in 44 minutes. Not only will Amazon have the most ambitious crossover between two different properties, Image and Marvel Comics, but it will definitely be the episode that will make the streaming service a buttload of money. And we all know how billionaires love their money. But all of that is a topic for another video. All in all, Spectacular Spider-Man deserved so much love from the company that disregarded it for a cheap knockoff. And I hope that Amazon will do some justice in that one episode that he'll be in. Because if you've read the Invincible comics long enough, this crossover will be something you've never thought you've needed. But that's all I got for you in today's episode. So, at the time of recording, the writers and actors are still striking, and I'm all for it. I'm in full support of them, as a writer myself. I genuinely hope they get the pay that they deserve, and full force to their efforts. But that's all I got for you in today's episode. If you enjoyed, leaving a like would help a lot, and subscribing will keep you up to date on the latest cult meetings. That's all from your boy. I hope you have a wonderful day, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.